The following is a Blue Ridge 11 Sports production.
It's District 3 6A softball tonight on Blue Ridge 11 as the 5th-seeded Warwick Warriors welcome in the 12th-seeded Red Lion Lions. And a good evening to you from Warwick. Alongside Amanda Herr, I'm Eric May. Thanks for joining us. Amanda, here come the Red Lion Lions with a record of 10-8, a slow start, 3-6 through the first 9 games, but then they won 5 games in a row. And according to Coach Gould, it was their win against Dallastown that was the spark. And there's nothing like a win against your rival to get you going.
Yeah, sometimes, softball's a game of failure. So at first you kind of have to try out what you have, especially, if you have a younger team too, it's like trial and error. You're trying to find who's going to be in what position and what kind of works for your lineup. But once you get a good roll and you just keep cruising with it. So I think for Red Lion especially, they found that lineup that works for them. They found those positions that work for them. And, I would just continue to trust that lineup until it's working so far. So continue with that.
Well, Coach Gould said it had really just started to click, and at that point, then that was part of a 5-game winning streak, and they've done everything well. They said, look, we're here, anything can happen. As far as the Warwick Warriors are concerned, they are fresh off a Lancaster 11 League championship, back-to-back championships, and they're going to have their star pitcher, Kate Shaak, in the circle, and we'll have the first pitch for you coming up next here on Blue Ridge 11. As we take a look at the starting lineup for the Red Lion Lions, Kennedy Foltz will be in center field leading off, followed by Kaylin Savanon. Marissa Schumann, 6 home runs on the season for the shortstop, followed by pitcher Ella Honecker. Alyssa Leidy, Michaela Yelton is at second base. Kira Densmore in left field. Ava Grove is the designated player, and Jody Grove is in right field. Defensively for the Warwick Warriors, their outfield left to right will be Marley Martin, Emerson Overly, and Kenzie Ellis. Cece Sanchez at third base, Katie Heisey and Madison Minnie up the middle, Sam Shaak at first base, Bella Smithson behind the plate. And in the circle, it is Kate Shaak, and she has put together quite an impressive season. 17-4, a 1.74 earned run average. She's given up just 87 hits, 176 strikeouts, and 40 walks. And when your opponents hit just 175 against you, good things are going to happen for you.
Yeah, it's great, especially for Warwick's batting lineup, too. There's power up and down the lineup, too, so when you have a strong pitcher, it really helps the entire team, and it changes the momentum. If you're strong in the field and you're strong at the plate, there's not going to be a lot that really stops you. So I think for Warwick altogether, they just have such a great staff.
And for Kate Shaak, she has really been throwing some of her best here in the last couple of games. 2 shutouts in the last 3 games, and the last 3 games have been part of the LL playoffs. 7-0 shutout against Manheim Central, and then a 2-0 shutout against Northern Lebanon. In fact, that game against Northern Lebanon, a career-high 15 strikeouts in that ball game. So Kennedy Foltz will lead it off for the Lions. She's hitting at .431. Beautiful night for softball here in Lidditz. The winner moves on to take on the number 4 seed Hempfield Black Knights Thursday afternoon at Hempfield, and our first pitch of the ball game is inside for ball 1. Dave Kolachik will be calling the balls and strikes behind home plate. That one's good for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Drops down a bunt back towards the circle, and Shaak is just going to eat it. And that's going to be an infield bunt single for Foltz to start off the ball game.
Foltz got that down in a perfect spot. With her speed too, that's exactly where you want to bunt. But to start off the game with a runner on first now, and you have your meat of the lineup coming up for the first inning too, I think that's a really great start for Red Lion.
I don't know if Shaak was thinking that Bella Smithson was going to come out and field that one. It looked like there was a brief hesitation. So it brings up Kaylin Savanon. Savanon hitting at 395. The first pitch is outside in the dirt, ball one, and a nice pick by Smithson behind the plate. And once again, I'd like to thank Big Time Softball here tonight. We're going to have the access to the grid behind the plate. That pitch on the outside corner, 1-1.
Make sure you're sprinting over there, Ken.
Popped up, shallow right field. And it's going to be the center fielder, Emerson Overly, with the catch for the first out of the ball game.
I think one of the nice things about being a pitcher is, especially once you get into districts, you're not facing the same teams that you're seeing the rest of the season. So I know, especially now that you're playing some teams 3 times throughout the season, and then in playoffs, if you had to play them again, it's 4 times. So I think Warwick right now, and especially for Kate, she has a bit of an advantage up on red line just because they don't know what to expect. She can kind of throw how she's comfortable and really find her zone and just kind of work around what she's seeing.
Kate Schumann at the plate. As I mentioned, 6 home runs and a team high 22 runs batted in. And I asked Coach Long before the game, I said, are you calling the pitches or is Kate and Bella working on it? He said, that's Bella's game. She's calling it. Ground ball to third. The play will go to first. Sanchez throws out Schumann for out number 2 and faults on the throw, moves up to second base.
That was a great spot. I mean, it looks on our BTS equipment over here, it looks like that was a bit outside, which is exactly where you want it, especially when you're up in the count too. You want to get them chasing, and red line's going to be more aggressive, especially the first time going through the lineup. So, really taking advantage of throwing off the plate.
Ella Honecker at the plate. The opposing pitcher takes the first pitch for a strike. Honecker hitting at 380. She's knocked in 14 runs. Fly ball right field, going back, and it's over the head of Kenzie Ellis back to the fence. Honecker on her way to third. The throw is going to be late. It's an RBI triple for Honecker, and Red Lion takes a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first.
That came off for about at 62 miles per hour, so she definitely got all of that when the pitch is coming in at 55.7 and going out at 62. I mean, she really got all of that ball, which is awesome to see. And Kate even actually threw that lower in the zone, too. She really just did a great job of getting her hands down and driving it.
It's the 4th triple of the season for Honecker. And it looked like Ellis lost her footing, too, as she was going back to try and make a play on it and got in over her head. 1 ball, 1 strike on Alyssa Leidy, the first baseman. This one fouled back to the screen. So Shaak in front now with a ball and 2 strikes. Leidy's hit a pair of home runs this year. She's knocked in 11, pop up in the infield. And it's going to be Sam Shaak with the catch to end the inning. But Red Lion pushes a run across on 2 hits. 1 runner left on base through a half inning. Red Lion 1, Warwick coming to bat. Here's a look at the Warwick lineup for you tonight. Kenzie Ellis, the right fielder, will lead it off, followed by Katie Heisey, Bella Smithson, who has just been coming up with big hits game after game, hitting third. Madison Minnie batting cleanup. Sam Shaak at first, hitting 5th, followed by Emerson Overly. Cece Sanchez at 3rd. Marty Martin in left field hits 8th, and then Brooklyn Nolt, the designated hitter, or designated player, batting 9th. Defensively for Red Lion, their outfield from left to right: Kira Dinsmore, Kennedy Foltz, Jody Grove, Alex Poulin at 3rd, Marissa Schumann and Michaela Yelton up the middle, Alyssa Leidy at 1st. Kaylin Savanon is catching, and Ella Honecker in the circle, helping herself out with that RBI triple to give the Lions a 1-0 lead in the first inning. So Kenzie Ellis to start things off. Ellis hitting at 358. You know, when you're the underdog, like Red Lion, first inning run could do wonders for you.
Definitely could. I know that when I was in, I think it was my junior year, we played Exeter, and they were the 16th seed, and we were number 1, and they ended up beating us. So, you know, anything is possible. I wouldn't, like, we thought it was set in stone, and actually some of my old teammates, which I played with after we played them that game, so I didn't know them at the time, but I realized once I started playing with them, I'm like, oh, you're the girl in Exeter that hit that ball off of me. I started to, like, put it together, but no, I mean, it's anyone's game. That's the fun of softball.
And that's the beauty of playoffs, too. In the first pitch to Ellis, it's good for a strike, 0-1. Kenzie Ellis, just a freshman. Grounds it foul. So Honecker out in front at 0 balls and 2 strikes. And with this being a night game, a lot of other games being played today in both softball and baseball were earlier this afternoon. So we'll try and get you updated on some of the other Lancaster Lebanon League schools in action here in the district playoffs. 2 fouled back. The one which was kind of, kind of raised our eyebrows. Number 11, Manheim Township, was leading number 6, Wilson, in 6A softball. Fly ball, popped up in the infield, and it's Marissa Schumann with the catch for the first out.
The first at bat of the game is always definitely critical. I mean, you can tell for Red Lion, they got on first. I mean, first at bat with a bunt, and then, really changed that momentum early. So for Red Lion, this is a great start, really just attacking the zone and making them swing at her pitches.
Katie Heisey, the Warwick shortstop, steps in, hitting at .325. Fly ball, right field, pretty well hit. Grove going back, and it's over her head. Heisey on her way to third. She will get there standing up. Well, that ball just seemed to continue to carry, and I think it caught Grove off guard.
Yeah, it looked like she might have been trying to find the fence a little bit. I mean, it was getting close to the fence, and especially once you're getting out that far, it's a little scary if you just keep running full force. So it looked like she slowed up just a little bit, but from this angle too, it looked like she had it.
We'll credit Heisey with a triple. It's her second of the year. And here is Bella Smithson. Bella hitting .551 and grounds it back through the middle for a base hit. Well, she continues to produce. That is her 32nd run batted in, tying her with teammate Madison Minnie, who is stepping to the plate.
Yeah, Smithson's just such a great hitter. I mean, I can't say enough of great things about her catching and hitting, but at the plate, I mean, when I was pitching to her just for batting practice, she's scary. She's scary to face. I mean, she has a lot of power, and if you let one over the plate, I mean, as you can see, she's going to drive it exactly where it's pitched, and she did a great job there, too.
How you like to face back-to-back players that are hitting over 500 for the season. Fouled back to the screen, 1 ball, 1 strike. Earlier this year, Madison Minnie picked up her 100th career hit, which is impressive. But what's even more impressive right now is she's riding a 20-game hitting streak. Grounded. Oh, nice play by Honecker. She'll throw to second, get the force on the lead runner. Throw late to get Minnie, but a fielder's choice and a nice glove by Honecker to get the force out at second.
It's a really heads-up play, especially with Sam Shaak coming up, who also has a lot of power. Getting that lead runner out is definitely key. So she did a really great job of getting it quickly, but also knowing exactly where to go with that ball.
So here's Sam Shaak hitting at .403. She takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Minnie at first base with 2 outs. Bella Smithson with the RBI single to tie the game at 1 here in the first inning. Shaak another. Lady Warrior that picked up career hit number 100 earlier this year. She's got a 6-game hitting streak and has hit safely in 9 of her last 10. This one's fouled off on the right side. That's going to go out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Sam Shaak.
These hitting streaks are definitely coming just in time for the right time
Yeah.
at the end of the season when you need it the most.
Not that this team really has been slumping at all, because they've won 10 of their last 11 ball games. Here it's a ball and 2 strikes. Line shot, and that is a fair ball down the left field line. Minnie on her way to third. She will stop there, and coasting into second with a double is Sam Shaak. Her 5th double of the year, and Warwick has runners at second and third with 2 outs.
That was a great shot by Shaak, but Hanukkah really saved a run there, because if Bella Smithson would have got to second on that hit earlier, the fielder's choice, she would have scored on that. So she, again, a big heads-up play by Hanukkah.
And here is Emerson Overly, another freshman. She drops down a bunt. Throw home is going to be late. No tag applied, and coming in to score is Minnie. So a safety squeeze bunt single by Overly, and it gives Warwick a 2-1 lead. For Overly, her 19th run batted in. And now Warwick runners at the corners, and Cece Sanchez at the plate, hitting .279. She squares the bunt, takes a strike, and moving to second is Overly.
I think for Warwick, that's a really great idea. I mean, Hanukkah hasn't really thrown a lot of balls so far, so for safety squeezes especially, I mean, you know she's going to be around the zone, so I think that's a safe call that the runner's going no matter what, and you're trying to get that ball down because you know that runner is going to be coming.
1 ball, 1 strike. Jammed, fouls it off on the right side. It'll be a ball and 2 strikes.
That one came in with a little more pop too. I hit over 56 that time, so she's been kind of cruising around the 54 or 55 range, but an inside pitch of 56, that's hard to handle for sure.
And a strike 3 called. Sanchez called out on strikes. Hanukkah picks up her first strikeout, but the Warriors strike for 2 in the first. And at the end of 1, Warwick 2, Red Lion 1. A 2-1 lead for Warwick as Red Lion bats in the second inning. And Michaela Yelton will lead things off. Yelton hitting at .346. And swings at the first pitch up in the zone, strike 1.
Kate's really spinning the ball well tonight. That spin rate on that one was 1,267. So again, if you're over 1,000, it's really moving the ball really well.
How that picks up the spin count on there?
I know.
Jeez.
I want to use it just for fun, even though I'm retired. I just want to see where I'm at.
Well, 3 pitches, and Yelton is down for the first out. Here's Kira Dinsmore. Left fielder hitting at .325. As a team, Red Lion with a .336 team batting average. So this is a team that makes contact and gets on base. First pitch, good for a strike, 0-1. You know, the thing about Kate, too, is that from what we've seen, and when we saw her against Mannheim Central, Central got a couple of early hits, but it almost appears as the game moves on, she gets stronger.
Yeah, and I think that Bella Smithson behind the plate, I think that she has a lot to do with it, too. I mean, if you watch her glove work with those outside pitches especially, she really gives Kate a lot of calls, too, which is, as a catcher, I mean, as a pitcher, you really appreciate that, but as a catcher, that's really hard to, like, learn and develop. So she does a great job of framing and you know, kind of giving her pitches off the plate, too. But I agree. I think that Kate's doing a really great job this year and last year. I mean, she's just a very strong pitcher in general, but she really attacks her zone, which I think is really important.
Well, that fastball rising, Dinsmore can't catch up with it. So it's back-to-back strikeouts here in the second inning. 2 down. Brings up the designated player, Ava Grove.
Ava Grove.
Well, she is just throwing gas right now.
And she's living up in that top part of the zone, but as I said a couple times before, if that's your zone and they're swinging at it, I would live there until they prove that, you can't throw that pitch anymore.
And gets Grove quickly in the hole at 0 balls and 2 strikes. Grove hitting at 320. Whoa. That one got away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now that came in at 52.
Yeah, it looked like it slipped out of her hand a little bit on that one.
And strike 3 called. Grove called out on strikes. 3 strikeouts in the inning. Warwick bats in the home second with a 2-1 lead. Good crowd on a beautiful Monday night here in Lidditz. Warwick will have Marley Martin, Brooklyn Nolt, and Kenzie Ellis. The Warriors with a 2-0 lead, and so they were not fazed by that first inning run by Red Lion. Got the triple from Katie Heisey, RBI single from Bella Smithson, and then a bunt single from Emerson Overly to plate the 2 runs. Martin hitting at 222, takes the first pitch high and outside for ball 1. Martin does have 4 home runs on the season. That one just a bit high, 2-1.
It looks like those pitches are landed in the strike zone, at least on our equipment that I can see, but every umpire has a different zone, and honestly, I think that his is a little bit lower, which is I always liked. But as a pitcher, if your zone is a little bit higher, that can be frustrating sometimes, trying to figure out where they want it and where you're trying to, still throw your pitches, but you kind of have to tend to the umpires a little bit too.
Fouled back to the screen, so the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So if you had a preference when you were pitching, you preferred a lower strike zone?
I did. I was a drop ball, curve ball person, so I had a rise ball, but honestly I didn't throw that a lot until once I got into college. But I lived in the lower zone, so if you were giving me low outside, that's exactly what I wanted it.
Ground ball to short. Schumann's throws a little low, and Leidy can't come up with it. So Martin is on.
Yeah, hard hit ball by Marley, but looked like that pitch was a little bit over the plate. And the spin rate for Honecker, I mean, I was talking about Kate's a little bit earlier, but hers is in the 1,200s. Honecker's is living around 800, 900 range, so it's not spinning as much, but makes it a little bit easier to square up.
Brooklyn Nolt drops in a base hit to right field. Martin will take the turn at second, head to third. And the Warriors have runners at first and third with nobody out here in the second inning.
That was a great drive by Nolt just to, again, hit it exactly where it's pitched. And actually, Grove made a really great stop in the outfield. If that gets by, Martin's scoring all day. So that was a really great play by Jody Grove.
So it's back to the top of the order. Kenzie Ellis goes after the first pitch on look like a running bunt, takes it for a strike, 0-1.
And Honecker fired that one up a little bit more. That was 56.6 and a spin rate over 1,000. So I take it back a little bit what I was saying earlier about the spin rates. Maybe she's in her groove now.
Check swing popped up, and a nice sliding grab in foul territory by Alyssa Leidy. Well, she did not have a lot of time to get under that one, and Lighty able to go into the slide to come up with a catch.
That's a great play, especially early in the game too. I talk about momentum shifts all the time, but when you make plays like that, it helps your pitcher out so much just to have, some more confidence and everything when they're in the circle.
Well, then she had the presence of mind to quickly turn, because Marley Martin looked like she wanted to tag up and try and score, but wisely holds up. So one down, and Katie Heisey at the plate. Heisey hit the triple to right field her first time up. Coach Steve Gould talking things over in the circle.
I think this is a great time for a timeout. I mean, when you have Heisey, Smithson, and Minnie coming up with 2 people on right now, I mean, that's for Warwick, that's exactly where they want to be. For Red Lion, not so much, but, a very critical moment to work through. If they can get out of this, I think that's going to be a really big momentum shift again for them.
And I said between innings, I mean, when Shaak was pitching, you just heard the ball popping in the mid of Smithson. It didn't sound that way with Honecker. Honecker looks more like a location pitcher, but those numbers don't lie. She's throwing mid to upper 50s.
Yeah, sometimes, the gloves help too. I always notice that, because sometimes, like my dad's glove, I bought him like the special glove, so it made me sound better. Some of my other catchers might have had gloves that are like, more worn out or something, so that makes a difference too. Not saying that her glove is worn out, but that does make a difference. But yeah, they're kind of living around the same speed-wise, but I think Kate changes zones a little bit more. Honecker stays more on like that flat level with like a drop motion, but Kate tends to go up in the zone a little bit more.
Well, Heisey bluffed at a bunt, takes the pitch low for a ball. It's 1-0. Good cut on that one. Fouls it back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Katie Heisey did have an 8-game hitting streak from late April into the first week of May, and during that streak, hitting at a .466 clip. Slow roller up to third. Throw across to first, and they get Heisey, but coming in to score on the play is Marley Martin to give Warwick a 3-1 lead. Good decision by Alex Pullen at third.
Yeah, I think especially this early in the game too. I mean, you want outs, especially in this situation. I would just get the out. But for Honecker, those were 2 great pitches to throw to her. I mean, Warwick's going to chase too. They're good hitters, good aggressive hitters. So throwing off the plate a little bit is going to help.
Smithson drills that one into left field, goes back to the fence. Coming in to score was Brooklyn Nolt, and it's a double for Bella Smithson, and her second run batted into the ball game.
That one came in at 54.4 and left at 70.5. So, again, scary. As a pitcher, she's definitely tough to face. And no matter what you throw her, she's gonna drive her pitch, and she definitely drove that one.
And here's Madison Minnie on her way to third. Is Smithson, and the throw goes into left field, and Smithson will come in and score easily. So give her credit with a stolen base, and then an error on the throw home, or on the throw to third, I should say, allowing Smithson to score. And it's now a 4-1 Warwick lead, and Minnie with a hit into right field. Grove cuts it off, but not before Minnie makes the turn, and now she's going to head for third, and she will get there standing up. Well, there's no hesitation on the part of Madison Minnie. I think she was determined to get to third base one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't even know if she picked up long at third. I think she was just going no matter what. She was just cruising. No, she definitely didn't. I just saw on the replay there, she was just going all the way. That's awesome, though, as a runner. If you can notice that and you can see where that ball lands, especially on a field this big, too, you have a lot of room to kind of make those decisions on your own. And you have to have a perfect throw. So, when I'm coaching, too, I always try and push my runners to be aggressive. If you're aggressive and you get out, that's not going to be a bad thing. If you're, kind of timid, that's another story.
Fly ball to center. Kennedy Fultz will make the catch to end the inning, but the Warriors put up 3 here in the second inning. And at the end of 2, Warwick 5, Red Lion 1. As the sun's starting to set here in Lidditz. Yeah, warm afternoon here. A little toasty up here in the press box as well, but hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, I actually had to break out my sunglasses today. I never wear sunglasses, but right now it's necessary.
Jody Grove at the plate leading things off. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Pushes a bunt. Shaak turns, fires, Minnie covering. Well executed by the Warwick defense. Grove is retired for the first out.
Yeah, Sam Shaak made a really great play of cutting that off. If she wasn't up that far and breaking, I mean, Maddie was already out on her way to first, so that if that would have got by, Jody Grove would have been safe all day. So she made a really great play on that.
So it's back to the top of the order for the Lions. Kennedy Fultz. She opened up the game with a bunt single, grounded to second, slow hit, and just in time, a bang play at first base. But the throw in time to get Fultz for out number 2.
Yeah, Fultz has some really great speed. I honestly thought that she might have beat that out, but I mean, Minnie made a really great play with that too, but it was definitely close.
Yeah.
I guess she did get her.
Wow.
Wow, for an infield hit though, I mean, that's some really good speed.
Fultz's foot was just coming down to the bag when Shaak took the throw. So there's 2 down and brings up Kaylin Savanon. Fly to center her first time up. So Shaak has settled down, has retired the last 8 since Honecker hit that triple. Fly ball to right. Ellis with the squeeze, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kate Shaak in the third. Through 2.5 here in Lidditz, 5-1 Warwick. Emerson Oberly, Cece Sanchez, Marley Martin for Warwick in the third. 2 runs across in the first, added 3 here in the second. And now batting in the bottom of the third with that 5-1 lead. As I mentioned, the winner of this ball game travels to Landisville to take on 4th-seeded Hempfield. That'll be Thursday afternoon, 4:30 first pitch in that ball game. And I tell you, Amanda, you look at this 6A bracket, and it is just a gauntlet. You know, the top 4 teams: Cumberland Valley, Chambersburg, Central Dauphin, Hempfield. It should Warwick hold on and win this game, it would be meeting number 4 on the season between Warwick and Hempfield.
Yeah, and that's rough. For baseball, you kind of have your pitching staff. For softball, it's more you kind of just ride the one pitcher until, you have backups, but most of the time it's the same pitcher throwing. So for both sides, I mean, Carly Ernst does the same thing for Hempfield, but for Kate Shaak, I mean, you kind of know what to expect then as a pitcher. And when you're playing those teams over and over and over again, you're seeing some girls 12, 13 times. So it's difficult as a pitcher to kind of really dominate your zone.
Really dig into the scouting reports at that point, trying to find the weakness of the opposing player.
Yeah, and there's definitely, I mean, it's not as big, I guess, for high school softball, but once you get into college, there were pages upon pages about me pitching-wise, so it's definitely a thing.
Fly ball to right, handled by Jody Grove. Overly retired for out number 1. Brings up Cece Sanchez. 0 for 1, called out on strikes her first time up.
Now batting forward, number 1, Cece Sanchez.
Senior third baseman with a big swing and a miss on the first offering, 0-1. Now, would you wear sunglasses while you would play? No?
No, I wasn't a glasses person. I think, this is a little embarrassing, but I think I look like a bug when I'm wearing glasses. So, like, when I was pitching, like, that was always in my head where it's like, oh, I was a visor girl, so I had to have that on, but glasses were never my thing. So, yeah, now you know that's why it's such a problem right now that I'm wearing them, because now I look like a bug sitting in here.
But you can see better.
I can see.
Okay.
It is. I should have brought my visor.
Now, are pitchers aware to wear sunglasses?
Yeah, you can. They kind of like bounced around on my face too. So like same thing with a face mask. I couldn't wear a face mask. I kind of was just, hoping for the best with that. But
So that's not mandatory.
it's not. No, some schools make it mandatory, but for me at least, it was never mandatory.
And Cece Sanchez drops in a base hit into right field. She's got her first hit. 8th hit of the ball game for Warwick. Here's Marley Martin, the left fielder. She reached on an error her first time up. Let's see if Warwick continues to be aggressive on the base paths. First pitch is out of the strike zone. 1 ball, no strikes.
I think Long's doing a really great job right now of kind of mixing in those bunts, mixing in fake bunts, taking advantage of, not knowing a team. So very aggressive on the base paths.
Well, that slow ground ball kind of just died as it rolled out to Marissa Schumann. Tried to get Martin at first base. That's going to be an infield single for Martin. And Warwick runners at first and second with 1 down. And Brooklyn Nolt steps to the plate.
Looked like Schumann was playing that back a little bit farther, but I think last time Marley, drove one at her, so that might have caught her off guard. A slow roller to her too in the same spot. I mean, it's difficult as an infielder to really adjust that quickly.
Brooklyn Nolt with a single and a run scored. Her first time up. Up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I really haven't seen any change-ups or off-speed for either side. I know that Kate doesn't really go to it a whole lot, but for Honecker, I really think that especially with this lineup, if you have off-speed, that's a lot harder to adjust to rather than just location. If you can really change that speed, it's going to throw off batters and kind of put it in their head that you have something else to offer too.
Nolt goes after that high offering, can't catch up with it. So Honecker in front at a ball and 2 strikes. Just off the corner. And you can see Savanon try and pull that one back in.
That's what I'm telling you. Glove work is key. I mean, and I give all the credit to Bella Smithson because I know that it takes a lot to really work on that and get it to be that good.
Another ground ball to second, and Yelton had a hard time getting it out of the glove, and that enables Sanchez to come in and score.
It's a really great pitch by Honecker again. It just got her, right in a tough spot, really.
Sorry, bases are loaded. And Kenzie Ellis with the bases juiced takes a strike, 0-1.
I was gonna say she's due for a hit, so that was definitely a big swing from Kenzie. And as for her, I mean, 2 pop flies so far. She's definitely third time seeing her. It's definitely gonna, she's seen what she has. She knows exactly where she's gonna be thrown, and she's gonna be able to drive it somewhere, especially with bases loaded. No better time for that.
Sanchez at third, Martin at second, Nolt at first. Fly ball left field. Going back, making the snow cone catch is Dinsmore. Tagging at third and coming in to score. Throw down to third and sliding in safely is Martin. So it'll be a sacrifice fly, run batted in.
I think Long thought that was going to be over their heads because all the runners were kind of going at first, but Dinsmore made a really great catch on that. I mean, from here, this angle, the sun's kind of in the way, so you can't really tell. But
yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, she's really she made a really great play on that. That could have been a lot of runs scored on that hit.
So as it stands now, it's second and third with one out. Katie Heisey at the plate. Chance for Warwick to tack on more. First pitch to Heisey is down and away, ball one. Shallow right field. This is going to be trouble. It's going to drop in. And the runners will advance one base, but coming in to score is Marley Martin to make it a 7-1 ball game.
For Katie Heisey, that's exactly what she needed to do. Hit it to the right side, just somewhere where they couldn't defend it. And, when you have runners on base, it's exactly what you have to do. But for Honecker, that's such a great pitch. It's just hard to defend that because it's in a good spot.
Well, Bella Smithson takes the first pitch inside for a ball. And I was going to ask you, the first two at-bats, she jumped on the first pitch. So if you're an opposing pitcher, you got to think nowhere near the strike zone on that first one.
No, and especially with Bella, too. Both hits have been hard hits. So I think living around the zone, no matter what, she's going to chase, she's going to be aggressive, and she's going to look for her pitch especially. But, living off the corners of the plate, especially when you don't have a higher pitch or an off speed, I think is going to be key for Honecker, especially the more she sees these girls and the more, you go through the lineup.
Heisey took second on that last pitch. 2-1 now to Smithson. What an incredible run for Bella Smithson. And a line shot and off the glove and over the head of Grove. 2 runs are going to score. Smithson on her way to third. She will hold up there. 2 more runs batted in. That is 4 in the ball game for Bella Smithson.
And that one came off her bat again. It's 71.8 miles per hour this time. So, again, she got all of it. She's just such a good hitter. The first couple of bats, the one was right down the middle. The second at bat, it was on the inside corner. That was high and outside. And no matter where you throw her, she's able to get her hands and really just drive that pitch.
And here's another meeting in the circle. Bella Smithson over the last 2 seasons has 82 hits, and that was coming into the game. She's picked up 3 here tonight.
Right now she's going for the cycle too. She has a single, a double, and a triple now, so it's possible.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
Yeah, I talked about Minnie and her 20-game hitting streak. Smithson has hit safely in 22 of 23 games this year. That is quite a 1-2 punch in your number 3 and number 4 spots.
There's so much power behind this Warwick. This Warwick lineup. Up and down the lineup, there's been, many extra base hits, but everyone hits for power. I think that's what makes it so difficult for them to kind of, for other teams to defend that. It's like, how are you supposed to throw to all these girls who are, they're all strong hitters? Sometimes you have those weaknesses in the lineup, but for Warwick, you really don't.
Madison Minnie, 1 for 2 with a run scored. And she drives one to right field. Grove going back, spins around, not going to get it. Minnie on her horse and on her way to third base with another triple. Her second of the ball game. First run batted in. And that gives her 33 on the season.
That one came off Minnie's bat at 67.8 miles per hour and carried 201 feet. So she's, again, they're really just putting the ball in play exactly where they're supposed to and driving it hard, too.
And another hard hit ball into right center field. Minnie will come in to score. It's an RBI single for Sam Shaak. Her second hit of the ball game. 11-1 Warwick.
As a pitcher, it's a really good thing to be consistent, but at the same time, it can really hurt you sometimes. If they're expecting those pitches, first pitch strikes all the time. If you're there in the zone all the time, they're going to be swinging, and it's going to be a hard swing because they know that you're not wild. So I think Honecker right now is kind of running into that, giving up good hard hits by Warwick, but she's staying really in the zone, which again is a good thing. But when they catch on to that, that's exactly what they're expecting.
Well, Warwick has batted around here in the third. Overly started off the inning, flied out to right. And she's at a ball and a strike. And it looks, and again, looking at that Honecker is more of a low ball pitcher, and Warwick right now is really zeroed in on that part of the strike zone.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't really seen anything in the other parts of the zone, like up at your chest or even off speed, but you're looking for that one pitch. It doesn't look like it's kind of having a lot of break right now. The spin is getting a little bit quicker, so the spin rate on that one was 1,038, just to kind of put it in perspective. But for the most part, it's more just, placement.
Emerson with a drive that's going to go back toward the fence. Making the turn and coming around is Shaak. She will score. It's a triple for Emerson Overly. That is her 6th triple of the year. And RBI number 19.
Yeah, Honecker just left it a little bit over the plate, inside half of the plate, but for these Warwick hitters, you kind of have to really live on those corners.
Here's Cece Sanchez. No balls and a strike. You look at this Warwick roster, and you're gonna lose some big time players to graduation. Sanchez, Sam, Shaak, Smithson, Minnie, but at the same time, some of these underclassmen are getting some big time experience.
Yeah,
and of course, you get into league playoffs, district playoffs. That's just more games under their belt.
For sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that the staff that Warwick has this year has just been incredible, up and down the lineup. But, next year the positions, like position players that they're losing with Bella, Sam, I mean, they're key players and they're key leaders too. So I think as the younger class really has to step up in those leadership roles too, because that's, they're, especially with Bella Smithson, I know I've talked to her a lot after games, and she really has made a difference in these girls' lives, being an upperclassman and being just so supportive and strong, but really just a great verbal leader, but also like a physical leader. I mean, she's just a great, well-rounded player to really look after. So I think these girls are really going to see an impact next year just because of the leadership that they have that they're losing.
Another fly ball to right field. Grove is over there. She will make the catch, and it'll end the inning. Another big inning for the Warriors. We move to the top of the fourth. Warwick 12, Red Lion 1. (12-1) Warwick, with Red Lion batting in the fourth inning. Crooked numbers big time for Warwick through the first 3 innings. Marissa Schumann grounded to third, her first time up. Up high, 2-0. And when you're a pitcher and you're starting to find your groove, you get those long innings. Does that kind of settle in mentally? You just want to get back in the circle, and hey, I'm sure that Kate Shaak's going to say, yeah, score all the runs, but at the same time, when you're in a groove, you want to get back out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely helps when you have more runs. It's less, pressure that's on you as a pitcher. But at the same time, like for me at least, I would get sore. Like sitting in there, I get stiff. And then I go out there, it's like re-warming up again. But, I mean, for Kate, she's still young and youthful. But as a pitcher, I mean, you kind of zone out a little bit. At least for me, I was, excited that we were scoring the runs, and it helped that I was hitting too. I kind of stayed in the batting lineup for that, but it's definitely gets long.
That one popped up into shallow center. Overly with the call and the catch for the first out. That is 8 in a row set down. Oh, just got the update here from Bruce Morgan. Quite the upset in baseball. The effort amounts in 6A. The number 9 seed knock off the top seed Cedar Cliff Colts 6-5 in 10 innings. What a huge win for Coach Shelley and his Mounts. And a hard hit ball and a base hit into right field for Ella Honecker.
Yeah, Honecker really got a good piece of that too. Again, low in the zone. I know their first hit was lower in the zone too, but that came off her bat at 66 miles per hour. So, you know, she's really good at attacking that lower part of the zone, especially on the inside part of the plate. And I think it's interesting too for Shaak. The only hits that she's given up so far have been the 2 lefties, Fultz and Honecker, and there's only been 3 hits, and both of them have had all 3.
So Honecker, a 1-out base runner. Pitch down and away, snap throw down to first. Late, Alyssa Lighty takes the first pitch for a ball. Okay, so I have to give credit. Got the word from Bruce Morgan, but actually got it from Andy Fosnod. So thank you, Andy, for the update. Ball and a strike to Lighty. Up high, throw again back to first. And yeah, I think if you're a Red Lion base runner, you don't want to be drifting too far off the bag.
No, yeah, Bella's aggressive at the plate, but she's also aggressive as a catcher too. She's gonna, you know, she's a good arm and she's gonna use it.
Ground ball to short, throw to first, got the force at second. Just a split second late on the throw, but they do get the fielder's choice for the second out.
Really great heads-up play by Heisey again. I mean, that's definitely the closest runner to you, but with Letty's speed too, you know, that's a really great play all day. They actually almost had her too,
yeah,
for a double play with a slow roller.
First pitch to Yelton across for a strike, 0-1. It looks like Shaak has been pretty consistent with her pitches as far as the velocity, mid to upper 50s, and a base hit there for Yelton. So Red Lion with runners at first and second, 2 outs here in the 4th.
Well, I jinxed it. I said that Kate's only hits were lefties, and now it comes with Yelton. But that was a really great hit. I mean, it was up in the zone, and she just drove her hands and kind of went through. But this is only the second time that Red Lion's going through their lineup too. So, you know, if the first at bat, I know Yelton had a strikeout, but you know, if you see a lot of pitches and you kind of know what to expect, you're gonna go up there swinging at the pitches that, you know, you've already saw.
Now Smithson with a meeting with Shaak out in the circle. You know, Smithson had a smile on her face like she was joking, but Kate Shaak not smiling about anything right now.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks very into the game, which is awesome.
So Red Lion runners at first and second with 2 down. Kira Densmore went down on strikes her first time up. Inning in which Kate Shaak struck out the side, and the first pitch is fouled away. The ball's 1 strike.
I would have called that one a strike.
Yeah, sure, when you have the apparatus. Throw down to first. Oh, and getting in under the tag was Yelton. Close.
Yeah, I would check on that one too. That looked like she was it looked like she got her, but I don't know. I can't see that back half of the plate, but Oh, she was in. That was a really great call by the umpire. Didn't look like Sam got her glove down fast enough, and she kind of snuck around it.
And Coach Carrie Long is going to ask for some help from the umpires. Yeah, unfortunately, the shot from behind the plate, the pole blocked our view. The first base side, it appeared that she did get the outside part of the bag. Here.
I don't know. I think she got past it.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a very close play, though. Yeah, she was. They called her safe, so I guess they were kind of seeing the same thing. But from this angle, she looked very out.
Yeah. But when she dove back, she bounced a little bit, and I think that actually helped her because the tag came in under her arm.
Yeah, it definitely did.
First pitch swinging is Ava Grove, and she fouls it off on the right side. Or excuse me, that's Dinsmore still at the dish. 2-2. Up high, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Whitey at second, Yelton at first. Pop up in the infield. Minnie with the call and the catch to retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, 2 runners left on base. Warwick bats in the home 4th, up 12-1. The moon's starting to make its appearance here over the field in Lidditz. 12-1 Warwick. And here in the 4th, Marley Martin, Brooklyn Nolt, Kenzie Ellis. Boy, the score sheet is really a mess. But that's a good thing if you're a Warwick fan.
That's definitely a good thing. I know we had that same problem at Ephrata when we had, I think it was the one night game. I was getting confused on my own stats because they kept hitting the first pitch, and it was really, I was forgetting to write things down, and then I lost my place, and oh my.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
So Warwick has just really brought out the bats this afternoon. As I mentioned, the winner advances on to the quarterfinals Thursday afternoon at Hempfield. Hempfield, the number 4 seed. That'll be a 4:30 first pitch. First pitch swinging and a ground ball to second. Yelton. And a throw just in time to get Martin another close play at first base.
Yeah, that's a great pitch by Honecker. I mean, Martin was being aggressive, going early and swinging at that first pitch, but it looked like it was off the plate a good bit, and she really just, hit it off the end of the bat, which is exactly what you want as a pitcher.
So the out is recorded, and here is Brooklyn Nolt. Nolt's been on base twice and has scored both times. And a line shot into the gap in left center field. On for the 3rd time tonight. Boy, you get that out of your number 9 hitter. And now you can flip it back to the top of the order.
That's what I'm saying. The entire Warwick lineup, just up and down the lineup, can hit. I mean, I think everyone, it looks like, has gotten a hit so far tonight. So, or at least scored an RBI or something. It looks like Ellis is the only one that hasn't had an actual hit, but she had a sac fly. So, as a staff, it's so hard to defend when up and down your lineup, there's no weaknesses.
And I mentioned that Red Lion had a team average of 326, Warwick at 350 on the season. And it looks as though that Red Lion is going to make a pitching change. And Steve Gould going over that with the home plate umpire. So yeah, a pitching change coming up for Red Lion. And with that, we'll take a timeout and step aside. 12-1 Warwick. Warriors batting. There's our crew staying hydrated. Well, there's all kinds of changes here for Red Lion. My goodness, I'm going to try and get them all updated, but the new pitcher is going to be Michaela Yelton, who was at second base, so she comes into the circle. But yeah, oh my, I got a whole new infield, except for Schumann at short. So bear with us.
I think they knew you were announcing. They wanted to just make it difficult.
Wow. Mission accomplished. And here is Kenzie Ellis. Takes it low for a ball. Ellis 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly and a run batted in.
I think for Red Lion, that's a really good time for a pitching change, especially going through Warwick's lineup now for the 4th time. I know that Honecker was starting to get beat up a little bit, but you know, sometimes change is good, and it looks like Yelton is a little bit slower than Honecker with 48 miles per hour, but you know, sometimes that's honestly more difficult to see and adjust to, is that speed change. So I think that Yelton's doing a good job of kind of stepping into a big role right now, but Warwick's really going to have to make an adjustment.
Two balls and no strikes on Ellis. She's got a unique delivery in that kind of a windup on an angle from behind her head.
Yeah, definitely a spin. I mean, you can see the drop motion to it. It looks like on our BTS equipment here, it looks like it's breaking 10 inches downward. So, you know, as a batter, if you're used to Honecker coming in more at like a flat level and then Yelton coming in with, you know, 8 miles per hour of a speed difference and a drop motion, that's really hard to adjust to. It's like a changeup.
Yeah. Yeah. Swing and a miss. Count full now on Ellis at 3-2. Oh, thanks again to Big Time Softball and having this nice little addition to see pitch location, velocity, spin, and another off-speed pitch. Ellis down on strikes.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big adjustment for Warwick. I mean, you can see that those pitches are all coming in kind of belt high and then they drop down to the knees. So as a hitter, that's hard to adjust to. You really have to wait and kind of hold your hands back and then drive at just the right time.
Here's Katie Heisey. First pitch swinging and grounds it foul. Heisey 2 for 3 on the night with a pair of runs scored and a pair of runs batted in.
She almost hit that one behind her. I don't even know how that was possible. She really was out ahead of that one.
And didn't really even get the chance to talk much about Warwick winning their 2nd consecutive Lancaster Lebanon League title, beating Donegal 5-3, and what a great playoff run by the Lady Warriors.
Yeah, Donegal had a really great team this year too.
Yeah.
I know that their freshman pitcher, she was really, you know, very consistent in the circle. But again, their lineup too, up and down the lineup, is just very strong staff.
Well, all 4 section winners had put together tremendous seasons. I think at one point towards the end of the season, between the 4 teams, there was 5 losses.
I believe it.
I mean, that's exactly what you want to see when you get to a playoff format. You're going to see the best of the best. And Warwick was the one that survived it all to win their 2nd consecutive title. 0-1, grounded foul up the third base line. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the pitch is coming in at 45 miles per hour, so it's like a 10 mile per hour difference from Honecker earlier. So That's hard. It's hard to adjust to that.
Yeah, when you're so used to, your mind is so ingrained on a faster pitch coming in. And Heisey jumps on that one and rips it foul.
Yeah, the fan section over there better be heads up, because I think with Smithson coming up too, I think you're going to be seeing some more of those.
Still at 0-2. Another snap throw down to first, and Brooklyn Nolt almost drifting a little too far off the bag, but gets back in safely. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And 2 very aggressive catchers tonight. I mean, we've seen a lot of throws down, which sometimes, most of the time, you don't see a lot of pickoffs at first. But tonight, there's been quite a few.
The 1-2 from Yelton. That was up and in by the eyes, and she rips it foul.
I thought Bella was going to be moving back into the dugout. It looked like she was going to. I mean, she's almost got hit a couple times over there now, so I don't blame her.
That one off speed, throw again down to first. Yeah, I don't think she's hit 50 yet, has she?
No. Nope. She's been cruising her between like 48, 49 pretty consistently. So there's been a couple that are lower, but I don't think she's hit 50 yet. But that one had 15 inches of break on it. So that's that's over a foot of movement, which is ridiculous. So it's a lot of spin, a lot of movement. But it's so hard to catch up to rather than just speed. I think it's easier to kind of hit speed. It's harder to hit movement, and it's harder to hit off speed and speed changes.
After falling behind 0-2, the count now full on Heisey. And another one up in the zone.
Great at bat by Heisey. I mean, she's battling back now. It's a full count and everything, but all these foul balls that she's hitting, that one was 67 miles per hour off the bat. The one before that was 71, the one that almost hit Bella. So, she's really found these pitches off hard. She's just waiting for her pitch to drive.
3-2, and a drive into left field. Going back, and it's off the glove of Dinsmore. Coming around to score is Nolt. In at second base is Heisey. And it's now 13-1.
Really great at bat by Heisey. I mean, again, I was just talking about it, but she's waiting for her pitch. She was waiting for that one that she could drive fair. And Yelton did a good job of keeping that ball inside. I mean, it's hard, probably uncommon, but when you're throwing changeups or like slower pitches inside, that's hard to hit fair because your hands just want to kind of go and get it. So honestly, I think that those are harder to adjust to rather than changeups outside because your hands are already kind of going that way. So Heisey did a great job of waiting for her pitch and driving that pitch, but fouling off the ones that she did not want.
Now, here's Bella Smithson, a home run away from a cycle. Well, she's not going to get it, but she rips it into left field for a base hit. Heisey comes around to score. Smithson goes into second with another hit and another run batted in.
She's hitting to all parts of the field, too. I know her first at bat, it was to center. Second at bat was to left. Third at bat was to right and back to left again. So she's really just all over the field. Again, wherever you throw her, she is able to adjust and just throw her hands. But she's been on fire tonight.
4 for 4 with 5 runs batted in. And the first pitch to Minnie is up high for ball 1. Minnie with a pair of triples and a run batted in. And a base hit back through the middle. And making the turn and then stopping at third is Smithson. Strong throw from Fultz. And Smithson decides to hold up. So another hit for Madison Minnie, and it's first and third for Warwick.
Yeah, this Warwick lineup, I mean, she just drove that pitch 71 miles per hour. So, again, all of these girls are, hitting the ball between 65 and 70 miles per hour, and that's very impressive to see, especially with the pitching change, too, jumping in and kind of, jumping on those pitches early and really making those adjustments quickly is really key. Keeps that momentum going in their favor.
Second and third. Two out here in the fourth. Tapped foul at the plate. Sam Shaak on the afternoon with a pair of hits. Has scored one, knocked in one. Lifts this one. It's going to go foul and out of play. Down the left field line. A ball and 2 strikes now on Sam Shaak. Well, if you're Michaela Yelton, you're looking in at Shaak. That's a big strike zone.
It's definitely a big strike zone. And she fills it, honestly. Like, the pitches that Sam swings at are, she is swinging at ones at her chest. She's swinging at ones at her knees. And she really doesn't have, like a weakness pitch. But I know that she has talked to me before about off speed and how she struggles with that sometimes. But, when you stick your bat out like that, that's all you have to do.
Well, and Shaak comes up with a 2-run single. Right back through the middle. And Warwick on the verge of closing this one out.
It looks like they did close it out.
Oh, it is, yes. That 2-run single makes it a 15-run differential, and Warwick will end it on that single by Sam Shaak and win it by a score of 16-1. The bats came out in a big way here tonight for Warwick.
I think coming off of a big league win, too. I mean, you have so much confidence as a staff, whether you're in the field, whether you're at the plate, but they really showed that tonight. Up and down the lineup, they're just, looking for their pitches, not making too much of the moment, and really just staying where their feet are, really, and just, kind of enjoying it as they go, too. It looks like they have so much fun together, which I think that sometimes that gets lost as a staff. But Warwick, I mean, they're doing a really great job this year of just playing as a team and, getting really good team wins.
Well, and you look at the circle, Kate Shaak, 15 strikeouts against Northern Lebanon. Not so much a strikeout game tonight, had 3 of them, but more importantly, she pitched to contact, let the defense do the work behind her.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you have to do. I mean, especially once you're this late in the game, too, that's kind of nice. I mean, you don't need to overthrow. You don't have to do anything too crazy and really blow it past anyone. When you have a team like Warwick, too, they're going to defend you. So I think for Kate especially, it's nice not having to throw as many pitches. You can kind of save your arm for those games later in the week. Like I said earlier, for softball, most of the time it's one pitcher throwing all these games. So the less amount of pitches you can throw, the better.
Yeah, and for Kate Shaak, 3 strikeouts, now at 299 in her career. So the Warwick Warriors advance on to the quarterfinals Thursday at a very familiar foe in the Hempfield Black Knights. First pitch will be at 4:30 out in Landisville. Stay tuned. We will let you know whether Blue Ridge 11 will be there. But it's a big night tonight here for Warwick here in the first round of the District 3 6A playoffs. Warwick 16, Red Lion 1 for their entire crew. And Amanda Herr, I'm Eric May. Thanks for joining us here on Blue Ridge 11. Good night from Lidditz.